Hi guys, we have a 2006 Ford GT here. This car is worth about $450,000, and unfortunately there was a big flash flood or mudslide, I don't know exactly, and his entire garage got flooded. It was literally probably 2 feet of water.
Today we are here at RDBLA, and you won't believe what we have in store for you guys. Beautiful cars back here, but we have a Ford Shelby GT in the shop. This thing was underwater, so we're doing our best to restore some certain parts. Anyways guys, roll the B-roll. So we're gonna start off by cleaning up the interior of this Ford GT. As you guys can see, the door panels, the floorboards, the seats, everything is covered with mud, and it still even has a little bit of moisture on it. So that's why I'm also wearing gloves. So now, remember, like I mentioned to you guys, we're gonna be cleaning up this car to a certain extent just so we could allow RDBLA to get inside the car comfortably, move it around without them getting dirty all over the place. So how do we even start? I don't even need to know. So how do we even start? We're gonna start off by using 3 different products just to clean up the interior. So I brought Nonsense Super Cleaner, I brought Total Interior, and Lightning Fast. So Nonsense Super Cleaner is going to allow me to clean up the more heavier filth and grime, such as the floorboards, even the seats as well as all these plastic trims and even the door panels. Just to lightly wipe down the plastic after to add some type of protection, it's going to be Total Interior. And then behind the seat, I did notice that there's a little bit of mud on the carpet. That's what we'll be using Lightning Fast. Now to pair up all these products up, I do have different types of brushes. I have my Boar's Hair detailing brush, I have my leather brush, and I also have my Nifty brush. Now all of these have different types of bristles. For example, the Nifty brush has nylon bristles a little bit more heavier. Then I have my horsehair brush, which has horsehair and it's super soft and plush. You heard of that? That sounds badass. But then we also have the Boar's Hair detailing brush. Now the Boar's Hair detailing brush is going to allow me to get into the nooks and crannies where unfortunately this brush cannot get into. So next up, we're gonna start off by cleaning up this plastic. Then we'll be making our way into the seat and the floorboards. So let's get right into it. One thing I actually do love about the Boar's Hair detailing brush, you could also just come here and just dust it off. And you guys can see that for the most part, the dust is not so heavy, but to a certain extent, the mud has stuck on. So that's when I'm going to be pairing Nonsense Super Cleaner, and I'm actually going to be very, very generous on this panel because I want to remove it as much as possible. Now, if you think about it, you put some type of liquid onto mud or dirt, it's going to turn more into mud, but by utilizing Nonsense Super Cleaner and a Boar's Hair detailing brush, it's also going to allow me to remove it, so whenever I get my microfiber towel, the mud won't be stuck on there. So then I'll go to this panel right here and just start scrubbing it out, and you guys can see that Nonsense Super Cleaner immediately starts lifting up all the filth away from it. And what you always want to do whenever you're dealing with a super dirty car or super messy interior, just get a microfiber towel, remove the tag. The tag is down here. Throw it back into my squares. So after you're done like folding into squares, you get your microfiber towel and you want to wipe in linear motions. And wow, you guys can see that the Ford emblem actually came back out. You guys can see how filthy this interior actually is. Flip it over to another side and just come back and just buff off the residue. Now, this is how the interior of this Ford GT is supposed to look, not compared to something like this. So this is just how easy it is to clean up an interior when it gets super messy. And for all my off-road riders or my side-by-side riders that own Razors or Can-Ams, over time, whenever you're in the lake and you're actually doing like side-by-side stuff, it's going to get super dirty. Now, for those cars, you could actually wet them inside, but for the most part, you could just come back out and just clean it up using Nonsense Super Cleaner. So I'm just going to this section and doing the same exact concept. Now, what I'm also going to be doing is going to be having one soiled towel that's going to constantly be cleaning up my brush bristles, because what ends up happening over time is if you don't clean it up, you're just gonna be rubbing all that filth and grime all over the interior. So luckily I have gloves on. Shout out to Claudio for finding me gloves. But just clean it up. And that is the very first section that we just finished. Next up is going to be the seat, but let me just finish removing all this residue from the interior.
We just put wheels on it like 4 months ago.
Wow.
First step is cleaning it.
Yeah.
Make it look brand new.
Yeah.
All right, so let me just give you guys a quick backstory. That towel right there is going to be I like to call it my brush towel. So after a few uses, I'll come back and dab it out, constantly be flipping it over so I could always have a clean brush. So when we're doing the same exact concept onto the door panel, I'm going to be very generous. And I'm going to start working from top to bottom. So start up here, clean everything up. Even though that this area might not have been harmed, we're doing our full best to do our restoration, or like I mentioned to you guys, to a certain extent where RDBLA can come in here, grab the car, they won't get filthy. So just simply spray nonsense onto the area, scrub it out, and after you do that, get a clean microfiber towel, inspect it for tags, no more tags, flip it over, and buff off the residue. Now, before I forget to mention, Nonsense Super Cleaner does not contain any type of protection whatsoever. This is just strictly an all-purpose cleaner. So that is why I brought Total Interior after, just so I could come back in here and spray some type of protection onto the plastic. But if you guys just look at that, by using Nonsense Super Cleaner and a brush, we were allowed to remove the mud stains that this Ford Shelby has just by spraying it, scrubbing it, and wiping it. Bada bing, bada boom, clean. Okay, so we just finished with the door panel. We finished with this little section right here as well. Next up, we're gonna be moving on to the leather seat. Now, just looking at the leather seat, it has like a little bit of mold, it has more mud, and into all the intricate areas over time, if you just let the mud sit, it's gonna ruin everything. So I'm going to be doing the same exact procedure, but this is where I'm actually going to be spicing it up to a bigger brush. Now this brush is going to allow me to get into a bigger part of the section. It's also going to allow me to scrub it super hard, but the bristles are super gentle enough so to a point where it won't scratch nor harm any type of leather surfaces, whether you're dealing with vegan leather or anything. So like I mentioned, you grab your Nonsense Super Cleaner, you'll spray it directly onto the area. And I like to saturate the area, especially because how dirty this Shelby is. Spray some onto my brush. And then I will be going to the seat and just start scrubbing it out. Now, by me scrubbing it out, I'm adding agitation to it. And it's going to make cleaning and wiping off the filth and grime a lot easier. So like this, whenever they start working on it and they start moving the car around, their backs doesn't get dirty, or their hands don't get dirty whenever they're working on this Ford GT. So I'm scrubbing it out, and I'm going to be doing the same exact concept as my board hair detailing brush. Down here, I do have my towel to clean up my bristles, because right now we are in California and it's raining outside, so we don't have any access to water. And we're gonna be using it the safest way possible to clean up this interior. So just scrub everything out, put my brush off to the side, get my clean microfiber towel, and just buff off the residue. And I always like to buff off the residue just so I could see what I'm working with and what areas need more cleaning or more attention. But you could be doing this to like any type of interior, especially like this Ford Shelby. I'm having so much fun today cleaning up this Ford Shelby and having all these badass cars behind me. We have Uruses, a Urus, we have a Lambo, we have everything here. So shout out RDBLA for having us and letting us do this car for you guys. But just like that, we clean up this leather seat using Nonsense Super Cleaner, and you guys can see how much mud is coming up onto the seat. Flip it over, and then I will be getting my finger dirty, get a small edge of this towel, and go inside the inserts and just start scrubbing out everything. So come with me and enjoy this cleaning process I'm about to do on this bottom section of the seat. This bottom section of the seat is still moist, but enough talking, more cleaning. All right, so I just finished cleaning up the seat. I can finally sit inside of here. You guys can look at that seat. That seat's completely still dirty. But next up, to clean up the center console, I'm actually going to be using Total Interior. Now, Total Interior is going to allow me to just remove the mud stains. Now, the reason why I'm going with Total Interior in this occasion is because the mud on the center console didn't really stick. It's more of a light layer of just mud. So if I just come to the center console and just wipe it down, you guys can see that the mud instantly goes away. So just by using Total Interior, you clean up any of your interior surfaces just by spraying it and wiping it. If you do need more product, flip your towel over, spray a little bit more. Sorry about the bad angle, guys. This car is puny, but super expensive. So spray, wipe, glide, and enjoy. All right, so the interior is coming along well. The driver's side looks phenomenal. We took out the floor mats. At one point, this floor mat was actually stuck, so I was working a little bit more difficult. I pushed the seat all the way back, reclined all the seat up front. But this is how a mat is supposed to look clean. And I just used it, Nonsense Super Cleaner, to spray directly onto the surface. So I'll show you guys on this mat. Spray directly onto the surface. And since we are dealing with mud, it's gonna get pretty messy, so wear gloves. Spray some onto my brush. Then I'll go to the area and I'll just start agitating it side to side. And what I like to do, if you do have a bucket of water, rinse your brushes off to the side. In this occasion, we're just using a microfiber towel, which is completely fine. Just keep on cleaning up your bristles on your brush. Scrub it out. Get a clean towel and just buff off the residue. And you guys can see how this floor mat is supposed to look compared to how it looks right now. So this is clean, this is dirty. Let's just keep it going.
Top 10 radar, yeah, we on your radar. Never miss, dog, and that's on occasion. Yeah, we on your radar. Yeah, we on your.
Look, top floor lifestyle, chef and boy, I'm cooking up. Way too high, ain't coming down. You see me if you looking up. I don't really talk too much, so I'm running numbers up. Lucky that I'm showing up, I'm going off, they know what's up. Wrist too silly, yeah. Numbers crack the billy, yeah. Don't need no dilly, I'm too fresh, I feel like really, yeah. Feel the duffels up the sign, I need a million. I'm about to take off, and I know that I'm on they radar.
Top 10 radar, yeah, we on your radar. Never miss, dog, and that's on occasion. Yeah, we on your radar. Yeah,
look, I know God got his hand on me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. So when they know my name overseas, that is something God oversees. Living life they think is make-believe. It ain't magic, nothing on my sleeve. Never noticed what you had to give, but want a piece of what you do receive. Wrist too silly, yeah. Numbers crack the billy, yeah. Don't need no dilly, I'm too fresh, I feel like really, yeah. Feel the duffels up the sign, I need a million. I'm about to take off, and I know that I'm on they radar.
Top 10 radar, yeah, we on your radar. Never miss, dog, and that's on occasion. Yeah, we on your radar. Yeah, we on your.
All right, so we just finished cleaning up the whole entire interior. We also rinsed down the car just to remove all the light, filth, and grime. And then after that, now it's just time for us to just quick touch up around the paint, such as using Hydro Blitz to just clean up the paint, the headlights, or any glossy parts. And then, of course, just to add the touch of crystal clear is going to be streak-free on the glass. So all you need to do is just simply either spray directly onto a towel. In this case, I'm going to spray directly onto a towel. And then I'm going to go to the painted surface. And the reason why I'm going this way instead of the other way is because we are in an enclosed area and we don't want to get it anywhere else. We don't want any type of overspray. So by spraying it directly onto a towel and then spraying it, wiping it onto the surface, it's just not only going to add a light layer protective of shine, but it's also going to add the best of both worlds, which is going to be a carnauba as well as a ceramic coating all in one. So if you want to protect your car, just simply spray it onto a towel, but be sure that the surface is clean, and then go to the area and just wipe it down. Now, Hydro Blitz is designed to remove like any fingerprints, dust, debris that is sitting on the surface of your car, or if you just want to add a brilliant shine, simply spray it onto a towel or directly onto the surface, flip it over to a clean side, buff off the residue, and just like that, you're going to be adding a layer of shine. So when we showed up to RDBLA, this car was dirty, filthy, and now the interior looks fantastic. Now it's time for me to just touch up the exterior as well as the wheels, and then we're just going to be touching up real quick and fast using streak-free glass cleaner, and after that we're completely done. So let me just do that and I'll get back to you guys to share you guys the finished results. Before we go, I just want to give a huge shout out to RDBLA as well as Vic for having us. I mean, they're amazing people. If you guys ever in need of any type of work, hit up Vic. Thank you so much for having us.
Man. Thanks for
What do you think about the car?
It looks great. It's ready to roll after we fix it.
All right, guys. See you guys.